Welcome to Audit Archive, where we run you through some of the most questionable and rather atrocious police encounters. Today, we're looking at a case where police officers pulled over an innocent food delivery driver and violated his rights multiple times while trying to find reasons to arrest him. In October of 2022, two officers of the Charleston Police Department noticed a vehicle dropping something off at one of the houses in the local neighborhood around West Virginia. They assumed that something suspicious may be taking place, so the officers decided to observe the vehicle. Amidst this, they noticed that the vehicle had a broken tag light, and this gave them a reason to initiate a traffic stop right away. We will discuss whether this was a lawful reason in just a moment. The driver, namely Mr. Jordan, started recording the encounter on his smartphone as soon as he was pulled over by the side of the road. Soon enough, one of the officers approached Mr. Jordan's vehicle and immediately ordered him to step out without explaining to him the nature of the traffic stop or the reason behind it. Mr. Jordan promptly asked the officer why he needed to step out, and in response, he was told that the officer has the authority to ask anyone to step out during any traffic stop, adding that it was a lawful order and Mr. Jordan must comply.
Hey, go ahead and step out for me, brother.
What?
Because I'm asking you to.
I didn't break any laws. I didn't break any laws.
I understand that, and I'm recording you too, but I'm asking you to step out. Step out.
I haven't broke any laws. I'm not under
I
arrest.
can ask anybody to step out on any traffic stop.
No, you
It's a
can't.
lawful
No, you
order.
cannot.
Yes,
I didn't break any law.
I'm asking you to step out.
I'm going to call my attorney.
Okay.
This is unlawful. What did you even stop me for?
The registration light's out. You have a registration light out. So, partner, go ahead and step out for me.
Now, in order to figure out whether the traffic stop itself was a lawful one or not, we can refer to Chapter 17C of the West Virginia Code, where it's stated that either a tail lamp or a separate lamp shall be so constructed and placed as to illuminate with a white light the rear registration plate and render it clearly legible from a distance of 50 feet to the rear. While taking this into account, it could be up for debate whether the vehicle's rear registration plate was clearly visible from 50 feet or not. If it was, then this traffic stop is completely unlawful from the get-go. If it wasn't, then the officers were well within their rights to pull Mr. Jordan over. Also, it's to be noted that only one of the vehicle's tag lights was broken, and it's very likely that the remaining tag light illuminated the rear registration plate enough for it to be seen from beyond 50 feet. Regardless, the second officer also made contact with Mr. Jordan, who then made the same claims, stating that the officer had the authority to pull Mr. Jordan out just because they said so. One of the officers also added that he wanted Mr. Jordan to step out just so they could have a word with him. But of course, there was more to it. The officer's malicious intent was already apparent, but they didn't stop there. In a clear attempt to intimidate Mr. Jordan, they threatened to charge him with obstruction of justice. This only added to the already tense situation and made it clear that the officers were not acting in good faith.
Am I under arrest?
You're not
Hey,
under
man,
arrest.
what's going on today?
Nothing's under. I'm trying to deliver my food
I
here.
understand.
Okay, so
I've got a lawsuit against the state police right now, and this is gonna be documented. I'm just letting you know.
It's documented right here too.
Okay. Well, they
So
didn't
listen to
document
me,
when they
man.
beat
He
me.
made a lawful traffic stop on you because you got a registration light out.
And I'm just asking you to step
So-
out so I can talk to you.
To conduct his investigation,
I'm not getting out of the car. I didn't do
stop,
nothing wrong.
You have to exit the vehicle when he's giving you a lawful order. So
Or-
if you come out of the vehicle,
If you arrest me, then if I'm under arrest, then I have to get out. But if I'm not under arrest, I'm not getting out of the car.
listen, but if you refuse to get out and we have to pull you out, then you will get arrested.
You can't pull me out of the car if I'm not arrested.
We can't because I'm asking you to on a
I know
listen,
you
man.
see all these
I'm trying
videos on
to
TV
work
all the
with you,
time.
buddy. I'm trying to work.
You're trying to work with me. I'm delivering
I
food. You
understand that.
pulled me
I
over for
understand.
no
Listen,
reason.
If
I
you
didn't
don't
know.
step back here with us, give us your information.
He already gave me his information.
I gave him everything
Okay,
you all
well, let
need.
him
What
talk
else
to
do
you
you
right
need?
here,
Let
and
me
then
just
you
talk
can
to you.
go.
Okay, talk to me.
All right, talk to me back here
Why?
because I asked you to, buddy. We do not want to take you out of this car. Okay, I do not want to arrest you tonight.
You have no reason to arrest me. I have
If
done
you-
nothing
if
wrong.
you don't get out
If
of
you
the
don't get out
vehicle,
of the car, it's obstruction, just an obstruction charge that will be filed against you, or resisting arrest if you find.
Now comes the important question. Do the officers have the authority to pull anyone out of their vehicle at their will? Well, yes and no. It's worth noting that the officers initiated the traffic stop solely because of an issue with one of Mr. Jordan's tag lights. This minor infraction hardly warranted the officer's immediate order for Mr. Jordan to step out of his vehicle. In fact, As concluded in the 2015 case of Rodriguez versus the United States, the Fourth Amendment prohibits police officers from prolonging a traffic stop beyond the time necessary to investigate and write a ticket for a traffic violation, unless the officers have reasonable suspicion that the stopped vehicle's occupants are engaging in other crimes. So, judging by this, it could be argued that the officers did not have reasonable suspicion at all. They were instead hoping to fish for something inside the vehicle that would land Mr. Jordan in trouble. Eventually though, since Mr. Jordan had no other options, he complied with the officers and stepped out of the vehicle. The officers immediately patted him down and tried to reach inside his pockets too. They justified this by stating that it was a Terry stop and that they were allowed to do this. A Terry stop allows the police to briefly detain a person based on reasonable suspicion of involvement in criminal activity. It stated that police officers may stop a vehicle to investigate if they have an articulable reasonable suspicion that the vehicle is subject to seizure, or a person the vehicle has committed, is committing, or is about to commit a crime. So essentially, this traffic stop has gone from a tag light issue to suspecting Mr. Jordan of a crime.
So we do not want to do that.
Okay, I already know the ropes of all you guys, what you guys do.
You have any weapons on you, buddy?
No, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna pat you down real quick, all right?
He's got to pass down for his safety. That's it.
This is a joke, man.
It's
I'm
not
sitting here trying to do my job.
We understand.
What's that in your pocket? Is that just a blowtorch? Don't reach for it.
I mean, I don't know what it is, man.
You care if I get in your pocket and get it out?
What? No. What do you got your hands on me for?
Because I'm patting you down. It's called a Terry frisk. We're allowed to do that.
You're only allowed to do that
All
if
right.
you arrest
Hey,
somebody.
let's come back here.
You're not
No.
arresting me.
Come back here.
Only you can only go.
At this point, the officers finally tell Mr. Jordan about their reasonable suspicion to pull him out of his vehicle and detain him. They claim that they smelled an odor of marijuana coming from Mr. Jordan's vehicle, and this apparently gave them complete authority to search the vehicle. Unfortunately, this was true. The odor of marijuana alone, as of the current state of the law, provides probable cause for officers to search a vehicle for evidence of marijuana possession. Despite state laws legalizing the possession of marijuana under some circumstances, it's understood that courts have ruled that the odor of contraband gives officers probable cause to perform a search. For this reason, police are quick to claim that they smell something, and sometimes they might even lie about it. Analyzing this perspective, it wouldn't be surprising in this specific incident if the officers lied about the odor. The worst part, however, is the fact that there's no way to prove it.
I mean, this is a joke, man.
Sit right here so I can talk to you.
This is why people don't like the cops. You guys are harassing me
All right,
because
man.
I was in the ghetto delivering food. I knew it when I seen you. I knew it. I told myself he's going to pull me over for delivering
The reason
food.
I'm getting you out is, like I said, I'm smelling a strong presence of marijuana.
You guys say that every time you pull somebody over. You're not gonna. I'm not giving you permission to search my car.
I don't need permission.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yes.
Not if you smell it.
Not if I
You
smell
guys cannot search someone's car saying that you
Okay.
smell marijuana.
it. I can't. Okay.
Well, I'm telling
And-
you
and I'm-
right
and-
now
and
that
I'm
you
going-
have
and-
no legal basis to search my car.
I'm going to search your vehicle, okay? And you're going to stay right here with my buddy while I search your vehicle,
This is a joke.
okay?
This is-
Am I going to find anything? Because I'm trying to work with you. I'm about to lose my patience, okay?
You are?
Yeah,
What's your
I am.
badge number?
So, we don't have badge numbers. Stay here
What's
with my
your
buddy.
name?
All right? Stay with my buddy.
It's to be noted that the officer here completely refused to identify himself, considering the fact that Charleston Police Department does not hand out badge numbers to their officers. The only reasonable form of identification would be the officer's name, which was unfortunately not given. Despite this, the officer walked over to Mr. Jordan's vehicle and started to begin his search. He spent a total of roughly 5 minutes tearing through the car. Meanwhile, Mr. Jordan and the second officer on the scene were exchanging words.
This is harassment.
There's no harassment going on.
Yes, this is definitely harassment.
And a lawful traffic stop.
He didn't make a lawful traffic. I break no law.
Registration light out, right? Registration light
I
out.
broke no
Can't see your
laws
license
here.
plate from a distance.
So every
That
time
gives
you guys
that
stop
gives
somebody, you're
probable
gonna
cause
say you
to
smell
stop somebody.
marijuana.
We walked up to the driver's side door, smelled marijuana. That gives us probable cause to search the vehicle. If we don't find anything, he may cut you a ticket. He may just let you go for nothing. If we don't find that, okay? There's no harassment going on here. I'm sorry you got a bad experience with police officers.
I've had a lot of bad experiences with police. I can't stand them.
I understand that. That's not us.
You guys are harassing me for delivering food to the ghetto.
Absolutely not.
Yep, absolutely.
You're the one that's labeling as ghetto.
That up there is the ghetto.
You're the one that's labeled that label.
Or what would you call it?
It's City Park. It's Renaissance.
Why you guys always patrol it?
We don't. We run up there when we get 911 calls. You're the one that called it the ghetto. It's called Renaissance Park, Vista View Apartments.
While the first officer continued to look through Mr. Jordan's vehicle, a supervisor, namely Sergeant Van Horn, showed up on the scene. Despite Mr. Jordan's concerns, Sergeant Van Horn showed negligence by refusing to intervene and investigate the situation. And, outrageously enough, when Mr. Jordan stated that he'd be suing the department, the second officer taunted him by announcing the department's address, essentially welcoming him to file a lawsuit and implying that it wouldn't be significant enough to do anything. As this went on, another officer who was also searching inside Mr. Jordan's vehicle suddenly pointed out that he had found some marijuana inside the boot. In response to this, Mr. Jordan claimed that the officers had planted the small amount of marijuana, implying that it was certainly not his. Now, even though it would be tricky to assume who was honest here, there is no doubt that the officers had malicious intent, and it would definitely be unsurprising news if the officers were the ones who planted evidence inside Mr. Jordan's vehicle. Regardless, Mr. Jordan was asked to step back inside his vehicle, and the first officer stated that he would be giving Mr. Jordan a break by writing him a citation and letting him go home. One would wonder why the officers created such drama just to ultimately write Mr. Jordan the same ticket that could have been written 2 minutes into the encounter.
That's why cops are not very liked. Because of things like this, man. Harassing somebody. What did you do, plant that?
Is that all you had?
Is that what you planted? Is that what you planted on me? Just a little bit of weed?
Give him an attitude. He can take you to jail or he can catch you with a
Well, I mean, he's gonna do what he's gonna do, man. I'm not gonna beg him to do nothing. Believe me.
No, it's not
You
what.
can do whatever you want to
It's
do.
our choice whether we want to charge or not.
You guys want to plant weed on me and stuff, and that's fine.
Man, absolutely not. But nobody's in the wrong, man. It's probably not even a car, is it?
It's my wife's, actually. I have 4 kids, actually. Yeah. I take care of 4 kids, and I don't like getting harassed. Yeah, they're mine. They're mine. I'm a good father, actually. Yeah. You probably don't have any responsibility.
Hey, buddy, go ahead and have a seat back inside. I'm gonna cut your citation and get you out of here.
Mr. Jordan was cited and allowed to leave shortly after. He has indicated that a complaint was filed against the Charleston Police Department, but no further updates have been provided. Be sure to check out our previous video where we cover another outrageous police encounter,